Hey everyone, this is Bob the Canadian. So, Lords of Middle Earth, round of 16, game number 2 between me and Nevan. I'm the Free Peoples this time, and I, just like the last game, cannot remember my password. So, the reason that I sometimes change up the password is that it is possible to cheat if you know your opponent's password. So, sometimes, I don't suspect my opponent of cheating at any point. I'm never thinking, oh, this guy's a scumbag, he's going to cheat. But, when it's a tournament game and I'd really rather win, why take that chance? Obviously, I've never met most of my opponents in real life, but any of them actually over the Discord server. So I don't know. It's possible that someone does want to win that badly, and I'd rather not lose because of it. That being said, obviously, I don't think Nevan was planning on cheating. So anyway, this has led to the unfortunate side effect that I forgot what password I had for these. So hopefully for future videos, this doesn't happen again. But oh well, such is life. So I separate a Hobbit because he only costs 1 corruption. He can help get the North toward, help defend the Dew line. If you're 5 foes, book him as Arbo, both playable. I wish him a Merry Christmas as I give him a token. He allocates 1 eye and rolls that, and I roll that. So he's got 3 characters in a muster, which is okay as Shadow. As long as you've got that 1 muster and the token, that means you can get Saruman or you can get the Chief if I get revealed, which is reasonably likely against 3 eyes. So I think for a little bit, right, I used Pippin's ability to muster down the North. This game was a little while ago, so I don't super remember what happens. I play King Brand, cool. Right, I see that Sauron's not at war, but he's already moved in that direction, so I can play King Brand here and cycle, and wow, King Brand is an amazing one, turn 1 roll for sure. Okay, so now he brings Sauron down to war. Interesting. I'm very interested that with that H, I don't put any troops into Old Forest Road. You'd think that's kind of the point, right? I guess... What am I worried about here? I really don't understand why I did that. It'd be helpful to see my cards, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I was worried about him taking Dale, and then me not rolling an H next turn to be able to get the Dwarf into Erebor. But still, not putting something in the way in Old Forest Road seems a little bit crazy to me. So I move, and I'm safe. That's nice. He attacks Dale. I find interesting. If I were him, I would be tempted to put Woodland Realm under siege so that these guys can't retreat in there. But at the same time, clearly, this is a downside to separating Pippin to start with. I've kind of painted a target on the North's back, right? So he's motivated to eliminate them as quickly as possible because I can muster them down very quickly and effectively. Okay, so I play a Heroic Death. He rolls 1 hit. I roll 3 hits back. My goodness, okay. King Brand is, he's a monster. Yeah, this is kind of funny because, what do you call it? I already made a video titled Don't Sneeze at King Brand, so I might have to make a sequel here. Okay, so he successfully conquers Dale at the price of half his army. That's insane. So I use that Will of the West to muster in Carrick. That's interesting. I guess I was going to move a second time, but at the same time, you don't really want to get revealed turn 1 and allow the Chief to come in that quickly. So I guess I'm saying, okay, I'm just going to keep mustering. You can do something. He might get the Black Captain here. Yeah, he does get the Black Captain. So I guess that was part of his thinking. Right. With attacking Dale, he specifically put the North to war so that he could get the Witch King this turn if I don't get revealed. So I think I might have known that he was thinking that. And maybe that was why I was extra hesitant to move a second time this turn. That's interesting game. I would almost rather get Gothmog because his die is almost as good, and that way you can still get the Chief if you want. Now you can never get Gothmog, but I think Gothmog is way cooler than everyone else does. I really like Gothmog's die because it's a really... So it's 2 flags, 2 muster symbols, an eye, and a card draw. So yeah, just half the symbols on the die are actual useful combat, 2 musters and a flag that don't have a star on them, and a card draw is not bad. So I think his die is pretty good. I value it almost as good as an actual regular die. So if I can get the Chief and Gothmog, I'm very happy about that. Ooh, so I get a really cool roll. I get 2 swords and 2 Wills of the West against his 2 eyes, a muster, 2 arm movements, a character, and 2 collect here. So that's a rough roll for him. Not getting 2 musters means he can't get Saruman. With the 1 muster, of course, he can get either of the lesser minions in. So that's nice. But because the Black Captain's in play now, I can just run and kill Gandalf and get him back immediately because I got those 2 Wills of the West there. So I pass because, yeah, I rush it. He plays Many Kings, which I think makes sense. I move the Fellowship. I'm safe. He moves armies towards me. This army, of course, is threatening in East Rune, but the Southrons are a long ways from war, so the dwarves are kind of like, yeah, I see you. You're looking scary, but you know, it's like we're playing tag and I'm in the safe zone right now. Like, I know you're waiting to kill me, but you can't kill me right now, so haha. I move again. Now I'm very hit, and I draw 3. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, it's actually really fun for me looking at these games now that it's been a while, because it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like I remember how it ended, more or less, but I don't remember a lot of things in between. So there goes Gandalf for a 3. Always love losing Gandalf at full value like that, and that feels great. And not getting revealed, just beautiful stuff. He continues on the army shuffle path. I bring in Gandalf the White. He draws a card. I bring in Galadriel, which should make sense, I think, anyway. He moves towards Gondor. Then I move again, which, wow, okay, safe. 2 2s. That's, yeah, that was 1 and 4 that I didn't get hit there, so that's pretty remarkable. And he brings in the Balrog, which, right, obviously he can't bring in Gothmog anymore because there's no Black Captain, so he at least gets that extra die this way. And I guess also, since Gandalf is dead, now if I get hit with an eye as I reveal past Moria, now that I kill Strider instead of killing Gandalf. So that makes the Balrog a lot better, actually. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so he rolls some more eyes, and I roll the character die, which is from Galadriel, which is nice because, you know, more Fellowship movement, but is a bummer because it has the remove symbol on it, and Gandalf the White is in play already. So if I was thinking more, I would kill Gandalf the White intentionally this turn just to keep Galadriel's die, but I'm a silly goose. So okay, anyway, silliness aside. So I play Faramir, and I get a hit and get the elite and leadership. That always feels so good when you get to muster those units and take a shot at them. Good job, Faramir. A+. He plays a card. I don't. Swarm of Bats. He gets 3 hits. Yikers. I get 1 hit back, so okay, less impressive from Faramir now, but at least he still gets the leadership and 1 regular into the city. If he'd rolled a 4th hit there, I would have been upset about that. Still rolling 3 hits is really big though, because instead of an elite back in there, it's just a regular. So okay, Fellowship moves and it's hit, and it's a 1 reveal. No blocking that one because it's not an eye. Right, but it's really nice getting Galadriel in play, especially when you're in that spot where Strider is the guide as you're revealed past the Balrog, because if an eye shows up, then you can use Galadriel's ability to nuke that eye off the face of the earth and protect Strider that way. So Balrog shows up, and he brings Smeagol. Sometimes the interactions just don't work out thematically very well, you know? Anyway, that's that. Then we draw another 3, and I kill Smeagol to it because perfect efficiency there. You know, it feels good getting to kill Smeagol to a 3 while Strider's still in the Fellowship, because that means that not only is it 3 value, but I get to get back to Strider's guide ability right away. So the downside is, of course, I can't benefit from the other Smeagol tiles, so they're gone already. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but oh well, we got past the Balrog. That helps. Balrog is active now. Fellowship hides. So Southrons move together, and the nasty orcs is coming up towards Moria. So seeing that he has Shadows in the Misty Mountains, that seems like a good plan anyway. You can play Shadows, bring these orcs in, and that's a decent-sized army to try to go after Lorien, especially since Woodland Realm is so well defended now because of King Brand that, yeah, forgetting about the Dew Line for now and just going after Lorien first is a reasonable choice. Okay, so I don't really want to move twice more against 3 eyes, so I guess that's why I'm playing Axe and Bow first. Plays Dreadful Spells. Interesting. Okay. Right, so he sees that Gondor is no war, so any damage he does to this Minister at Stronghold is... Ooh, good. Wow. That's amazing. On only 3 dice, he gets 2 hits from a Dreadful Spells. That's like the highest hit percentage a Dreadful Spells has ever had. Okay, so now move the Fellowship again. 1 reveal. So I use Axe and Bow. Oh, right, and of course there's no extra tile. I was expecting him to draw another tile, but we already got past the stronghold. Okay, so in come the Southrons, and interesting. What am I talking about? I say, well, we'll check to see if you're bluffing anyway. Oh, right. I remember that I thought he would have attacked Minas Tirith if he didn't have that he should have attacked Minas Tirith, and not attacking Minas Tirith was allowing me to muster Gondor to war and then get an elite next turn. So I was kind of just assuming that he had Ringwraiths Abroad or Black Captain commands, and that he was baiting me to waste a muster. But I guess he just got caught up in his army shuffling and forgot and didn't see that. So that happens. That's yeah, I definitely miss things all the time like that. Oh, that feels bad. He just walked the orcs out of the Dunland, and then Rage to the Dunlanding shows up. That feels bad. I've been there. Lots of Wills of the West for me, huh? Wow. I've got to be like at least +2 on that. Let's take a look. +4 on Wills of the West. That's insane. But -3 on characters, so I guess that's like tomato in terms of movement. Okay, so I muster elite Minas Tirith, so I recover from dreadful spells. I see. So he points out that Isengard was still not actually at war, so he shouldn't have been able to move the orcs to North Dunland, which I volunteered to let him do a different move. I see that now. Now seeing that he had Rage of the Dunlandings in hand, that's a little less selfless of him to point that out now. But oh well, such is life. So he musters Isengard to war now, and now he plays Rage of the Dunlandings. He says they're back. I asked them politely to go away again. In comes Saruman. I hide the Fellowship. Attacks Pelargir from Osgiliath. I see. He's running for Dol Amroth while it's still fairly empty. So he uses King as revealed just for the cycling. He gets 0 hits. I get none. He retreats. I move the Fellowship, and I'm safe. He attacks Lamden, and now he scouts away. So this is an interaction that has come up for me a couple times. If you have just 1 Scouts card, and this guy's in Pelargir, and you would like him to still be in Dol Amroth, you don't play Scouts right away. Because you need, for him to get there, you need him to survive 2 rounds, right? And he's much more likely to survive the one where he's defending in Pelargir than this one. So you don't play anything first and hope he survives, and then you play Scouts from Lamden. So it's nice to see some consistency with Past Bob anyway. Good job, Past Bob. So I use the other will to muster in Dol Amroth, which, yeah. Me now is tempted to say that you should have mustered again. Moved the Fellowship again and left mustering for a card maybe, but I guess like being worried about military is a thing though. Nah, I really think I should have moved again. Anyway, he puts Dol Amroth under siege. I guess I'm thinking that this army besieging it right now is a 6-1, so it's not that strong. And the fact that he moved this army means that he probably doesn't have Corsairs. So I'm kind of thinking, like, there's a chance that this will stall out for a while. So, okay, I guess that's what I'm thinking. And I use a ring to move again, so cheers. Who knows, maybe I have that 3 rings for the Elven Kings card, and I'm just really trying to burn through rings anyway. Okay, and the Balrog walks them out. I'm lucky to be safe there again. That was 5 out of 9 that I got hit. So. Okay, so he gets Shadow of Dol Guldur. That's a nice card. We come to kill. Also a nice card for maybe sieging Lorien or reinforcing in Dol Amroth. Okay, so I take a little bit thinking, and I decide to be Osgiliath. I'm not entirely sure why I chose Osgiliath. I guess I'm worried about cruel weather, and I specifically am hoping that he'll come and sit on me so that I'll get revealed, and then I can use Elrond's die to move at the end, and hopefully dodge cruel weather. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Move first. Oh, right, there's no risk of Day Without Dawn, because the Southrons aren't at war. And I get hit, and it's an I. So it's a 1R. Yeah, I take the damage and get revealed. Good. I was really worried I was going to use Galadriel's die to delete the eye there. And like I was saying, it's really good for the Fellowship to get revealed here, actually, because it makes it much less likely that, what do you call it? Stuff. That the Fellowship can be pushed away by cruel weather. So I hide. He attacks Lorien again. And like I predicted at the week come to kill there. So I Oh, that's cool. It's really cool when you can actually use Daring Defiance to cancel a card because it doesn't come up very often. But that is, of course, one of the strengths of adding Galadriel and Elrond to the games. It makes it more likely you can play those cards. So you get 0 hits, and I get 2. So that's certainly a lucky start for Galadriel here. So he plays no card. I play Confusion, which does nothing, and I roll 1 hit. Okay, so he presses because obviously now that the elves are at war, I can muster elites straight into Lorien, so he's hoping to blow it up in one shot. Let's take a look at what cards he could be playing. Mumakil doesn't work. Sealder's, like, you could play Cruel as Death here. Oh, no, you couldn't because there's only one Nazgul there. That's fascinating. Yeah, so literally can't play any of these cards. Never mind. Yeah. 2 hits, though. That's a bit better for him. 2 hits for me. He presses 1 last time. The Balrog, of course, gives... he's like 2 Captains of the West, so he's still rolling at 5 dice. He only gets 1 hit, though, so Galadriel hangs on to fight another day. Oh, wow, that's wild. And his army is so beaten down that, of course, I muster in an elite because that makes it much less likely for him to win now. Yeah, so close. He was only 1 hit short. Like, that feels really bad. Yeah. Okay, he musters the Southrons down. I see. He's mustering the Southrons down so that he's threatening Day Without Dawn. That's smart. So he's hoping to make me move earlier, and then if I don't get revealed, then he can smack me with Cruel Weather. That's a really good play. Let's see what I do. I do move the Fellowship. Wow. Okay. Well, okay. So I didn't play this well around Elrond. You really should use Elrond to on the turn that where you're trying to get into Mordor to try to give yourself the last move. The tricky part about that is that if you use Elrond earlier, because it yoinks your die back out, Mr. James showed me this, so credit to him anyway. He showed me this when I did it wrong in a game. That's very nice of him to point it out. That watch me win in the finals with that specific technique. I'd feel so bad. Anyway. Right, so you yoink the die back, so you want to use Elrond first, but you also want to be using it to change the tempo. So you need to wait till your dice are equal, and then you use Elrond to save the first die that you're moving the Fellowship with. Now, obviously, it's not always that straightforward. You might need to move earlier than that for whatever reason. But anyway, here we are. I moved because I was scared of Day Without Dawn, and I didn't get hit. So he attacks Lorien. Yeah, that's a reasonable choice on his. He tries Lorien anyway because he is still rolling 8 dice, and he needs 3 6s. That would be lucky. So I play... Oh, yeah, that's a good call. I just need 2 hits, and then I blow up the Balrog, right? And then this Stronghold is free for a while, so I play Valor in the hopes of getting 2 hits. And he gets 2 6s, so that's pretty good. And I get only 1 hit. So that's some bad news bears there for me anyway. So I draw a card because I don't know what else am I going to do. He attacks Lorien again. I play Brave Stand. That makes sense. And he gets his 1/6, and I get also 1/6. So yeah, Balrog is dead, and so is Galadriel. So I'm not sure who that's better for. I think that's better for him. And of course, then he plays Cruel Weather. So yeah, I'm very sad about that. It's obviously huge for me that I got that hit, because if that one orc had survived, then this would be conquered. But because it remains unconquered, as there's no shadow unit left there to control it, I can muster more elves in there. But of course, it's weaker now. It's much weaker because there's no Galadriel and there's no leadership. So I can muster an elven elite or 2 in there. But if he is able to spring an army out of the ground, say with Shadow of Dol Guldur, that's perfect. Yeah, then he can. It's very conquerable for him still. Oh, right. I was being sad about 5 out of 28. I was being sad that he had Cruel Weather. That's why I gambled moving the Will of the West. That's not insane. It definitely turned out to bite me this time, so that's not amazing. Oh. Wow, and he got Orc multiplying. That's so cool. Like, if he pivots 5 Nazgul there, then he can, with 2 Palantirs, summon 3 Orcs and then 5 more. That's crazy. That's so cool. I've never seen both those cards used together at the same time. That's epic. Again, with all the Wills of the West for me, huh? It's wild. Okay, so I move because, again, scared of Day Without Dawn. So I get hit. It's a 2. I take a random. It's Boromir. Very happy to see not Strider, you know. Okay, so he starts mustering in Moria because I guess he wants to get the excuse me, jump on me. Of course, here's the downside. He doesn't have any character dice or any Palantirs and events that would allow him to move Nazgul, so he can't really make Shadow of Dol Guldur work because you need to put 5 Nazgul in there to be able to get 5 orcs out of nowhere. So orcs multiplying can work, but of course it's a little ways away. So he's just stockpiling a big pile of, what do you call it? Stuff. Trolls in Moria. So I muster the Elven regular in Lorien and a leadership in Carrick. I'm a little confused as to why I didn't just muster all the elites. Maybe I have Thranduil in hand and I'm planning on playing it for Woodland Realm. I don't know. Or maybe I have Círdan's ships. Maybe I'm excited about playing that. I am saving 2 elites very specifically there. I guess I'm not that scared of his 2 trolls here, you know? Okay, so he attacks Dol Amroth. Oh, but you know, I did have Thranduil, but I don't feel like I'm going to need it, apparently. That's very interesting. One might even say nonsensical. I would say that specifically. So, well, the Valor at least gets 1 hit anyway, so that's better than Eomer did in Lorien. Okay, so 2 hits for him, and then he takes 2 with the Onslaught and gets 1 more hit. So, okay, that's that. Oh, right, I remember. He specifically Onslaughts and then plays Shadow Lengthens here to bring that army over. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's good. Okay, so then instead of mustering more in Lorien, I'm trying to walk this army over to Woodland Realm here, which is like that's still pretty strong. Like getting an elite and a leadership in there. It's a little bit silly though because there's 2 extra regulars hanging out, and that's a little awkward to stick around for a field battle for. Because if you get hit more, then you feel stupid. But chucking 2 back into the force pool also feels kind of stupid. So. Anyway, he attacks Dol Amroth. Cycles a character card. He gets 1 hit. I get 1 hit. It's about fair. He presses naturally. Yeah, now he uses Shadow for the Mumakil effect. He gets 2 hits. That's pretty good. I roll a 0 back. So yeah, finishes me off very cleanly. And then I bring Elrond in because, oh yeah, it feels so good having Elrond's ring ability available for starting into Mordor. It allows you to just go faster and makes eyes do less damage the whole way up. So that feels great. And he puts Erebor under siege. So, yeah, I guess he sees that these guys are coming to help Woodland Realm, and he decides that he'd rather not. Yep, makes perfect sense. I roll 2 movement, which is okay. It's a little less than you'd like, but it's okay. And he rolls a decent turn of attacks, too. So I decided to just get the ball rolling with moving. It's a 1, so that's nice. No need to risk losing Strider. And I use Elrond off the start. So yeah, like I was saying, makes eyes do less damage the whole way through. So yeah, that's reasonable. It feels a little silly because it's not important right now. Like, but at the same time, oh, I think I remember this. Yeah, there's no red tiles in the hunt pool. So I think I extra wanted to just do as much moving as I could right now because the Fellowship's in good health. And who knows, maybe he's about to chuck a red tile in there. Or maybe he doesn't have one this turn, but next turn he will. Oh, yeah, I see the Shelob in there. It's a sneaky Shelob. But he plays Black Captain first. So I guess he wants to quick blow up Erebor before I play Dane. Because he doesn't know. And we also don't know if I have Dane in there or not. Personally, I would have been tempted to throw Shelob in there just because your military is behind and you could really use something to slow me down. But at the same time, the Fellowship's in such good health that just giving up on corruption and hoping I don't roll any movement for the next couple turns is also a pretty, well, I don't want to quite say likely hope, but likely in, relative to the situation. Yeah, so he plays Bits of Mordor and I play Daylight. That's a good call with him, specifically leading with a less good card. So leading with Pits of Mordor instead of Corsairs. So Deadly Strife is obviously more powerful for doing damage than Desperate Battle, but Free People's players are more likely to lead with their better card because they think Shadow is more likely to lead with their better card. So he got to save his Deadly Strife for being not played against a Daylight. So that helps. So he gets 1 hit and I get 2 hits. He presses. Wow, now he's got 2 Deadly Strifes. That's crazy. So he plays, Deadly Strife, and I play Charge. Interested, then I played that. Right, I guess, obviously, Dol Amroth and Plarg are a concert, so I'm probably not going to get to play it for that. Sorry, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but it's a machine in the background. But what do you know? My charge gets the 1 and 3, gets a hit ahead of time. He does 4 hits. Okay, that's a good deadly strife. And I get 0. That's so funny. I've never seen that. 5 dice at 3, and they all miss. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, okay. Apparently, me back then thought that was just as funny as me now thinks that is. That's like rolling 1s and 2s on 5 dice. That's amazing. Ooh, okay. So I play Ents, probably just in the way, and felt like I might as well play it before I play something else. Yeah, Athalas, perfect. Yeah. So, and Strider heals for all 3. So that's, yeah, great. A+. Good job, Strider. I guess I also wanted to play that before I moved again in case I, wanted to take a random and didn't want to risk losing Strider. So that makes sense. So he attacks Erebor again and just needed the 1/6, but he didn't find it. And I get 1 hit back. So good job, Dwarf. Like, you missed on 5 at 3, but you can hit on 2 at 5. Yes, that's downright silly in my humble opinion. So I hit a 0R. That's amazing. Just with Strider as a guide, like you laugh at being revealed. It doesn't matter. He attacks Erebor, and now all the 6s come. And I don't get a hit back. So now he's up to 6 points, so it's getting a little bit scarier, but he's not too close to the next 4 points. Like, Lorien is weak, but he doesn't have an army right now for getting it. And where the other 2 points are is not immediately obvious. He does have Horde from the east, so maybe with that army, then he can threaten Woodland Realm. Woodland Realm is reasonably strong, though, so I don't know. So, okay. So he brings this army along. Okay, so he's thinking about Minas Tirith, which also makes perfect sense. It's moderately defended. Wow, a 1. So that's 1-0-1 so far. Yeah, 1-0-1. Hardly gets any better than that. That's really good. So I use Galadriel's Ring to move again. That's crazy. Well, I mean, okay. Look at what amazing health the Fellowship is in. That does seem like a reasonable choice in hindsight. Specifically knowing that there are no red tiles in the pool right now, and you've got this health to burn, I think that does make sense. Yeah, so it feels dumb using Galadriel's Ring and then running into an eye that I can't cancel anymore, and it's doing 4R, but I've just got such good health that it's fine. So I take a random, which I think makes sense because I'd like to keep Strider, but at the same time, if I go up to 5 damage and he puts 4 eyes in, maybe I could have just eaten the damage, actually. It's 5R, even with 4 eyes in again. Like, I could still just eat Strider later. Yeah, okay, maybe I should have just taken it, but to not risk losing Strider and take the unlikely risk of just rolling 0 movement next turn. But oh well, I took a random and it wasn't Strider. Yeah, and he points out that I actually almost went through Mordor in 1 turn there, which is pretty crazy, especially considering I only rolled 2 movement. Thanks, Elrond. Thanks, Galadriel. And then, of course, I used Strider's ability to hide. And now he chucked Shelob in. So, yeah, I would have put it in first, but at the same time, like, you gotta gamble to get ahead somehow. So let's see. It's only Shelob can stop me now. So I think I just hurry up and move in case he got another red tile, which he did. So I'm glad I moved. And it was Shelob's. That's annoying. So he gets a 3. And so I just take Strider, which makes sense because this isn't revealing me, so I don't really need Strider's ability anymore. Yeah, like he said, if I didn't roll 4 freaking moves, this would be kind of crazy. Yeah, I just have so much movement and so much health that it doesn't really matter, but it's pretty epic that there was only 1 red tile to possibly not let me win the game, and he got it, I'm in such good health that I can even hit an eye that's doing 6 damage, and I can just eat the companions 3 damage, then I'm at 6, and I'm fine. So, of course, he chucks in his other red tile, and I get the eye, so that's fine. Yeah, and that's that. That was some pretty great luck for me in both games. I think it was a little more one-sided this game than the last game, but in both ones, it certainly wasn't his fault that he lost. It doesn't feel like that to me anyway. Yeah, so he points out how much closer this would have been if he had gotten a bit luckier around Lorien. Yeah. That's true. He did get lucky about drawing Cruel Weather, but yeah, that's that. Okay, let's take a look at statistics. So he was -2 on sixes, +2 on fives. So that's somewhat poor luck. My hits were about average too. +6 on Wheels of the West for me, but -5 on character. So that's such an interesting combo, because like if he had Date Without Dawn, that's not necessarily a good thing, but it obviously turned out pretty well for me. And of course, he can only use it to nuke one turn, but if he nuked a really important turn, like to stop me from getting to Mordor or to, take away 2 movement on the Mordor track, then that's pretty critical. +4 on eyes for him, -4 on musters. Yeah, just one of those games where the dice just don't quite give you what you want, Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time.